Alright, so goal today with this project here is you're going to be making just kind of a mobile cart in the garage. You're going to have this pegboard, got these pegboard baskets, and we're going to put 4 of these in a grid pattern there. We're just going to make a little crate on the bottom and then cut out a plywood panel for those pegboards to go on. And this is just to get more things, more tools off the ground or off shelves, and have another mobile thing in the garage to go along with this Craig rack over here. Just keeps it a little more tidy and keeps tools easy to get when I'm working on something. So we're going to go ahead and use these or rip these down already. I'm going to make the panel out of this, a couple panels actually, and we'll get to it and see what it looks like. Alright, so whenever you're thinking about doing something like this, right, because we're going to make a frame to go around these pegboards and on the bottom here, so always a good idea. It says it's 16 by 16 inch squares, but it's always a good idea to just get the tape, kind of rough fit it, because in this case it's actually about a 16th over. So if I ended up cutting this at 16, you know, we would be recutting the panel on the plywood. So it's a good idea to always just measure. Again, this side they are square, so 32 and a heavy 16th. So just good to keep in mind when you're doing a project like this. You're going to sneak these into a frame, just dry fit them, measure them beforehand. Alright, so when you're cutting, you might notice, and you're human, just like everybody else, you might notice that, you know, this board is just, some of your boards might be a little too long. You've got to shave about maybe a 16th off of this platform board for this square to kind of fit snug in there perfect. So not a big deal, just, you know, find out what gap you have, or how much you're over, how much you need to come down, and then just trim this down about a 16th. So that's the best way to do it. Easiest is just table saw, planer if you've got one, and just shave this down before we start putting this thing together. Oh. Go. Perfect. so if you've ever done inside corners like this, usually you don't have a clamp that can allow you to allow you to screw in these pocket holes and clamp it to the wood. So just a little trick there is get a screw inside like that, and what I do, and I'll show you on the camera here in a second, is just screw it in a little bit, just like that. And what you have here is this little tab right here, the end of the screw sticking out. What you can do, line it up on the end of the stock or whatever you're going into. I like to give it about like a 1/16 of a lip on the outside here, and then once you're lined up, just go ahead and press it in to the wood. It just goes in a little bit, but it kind of keeps it there for you. And usually with these pocket screws, when you don't clamp them, when you screw them in, they drag over. So this, again, we start with a 1/16 gap here, and this kind of pulls over. So that's just when you don't have a clamp or you can't get a clamp on it. But that's just a little trick I thought I'd show you while we're building the rest of this. Alright, so what we're doing now is, you might be wondering why I'm clamping it the whole way down. Just flushing out this edge here. So it's got a little lip right there. Just kind of pull it in, clamp. I could probably hold it in while I did this, but clamping it just a little easier. And then once you got it lined up, shoot it. It's just one less thing to think about. Keeps it flush on the way down. If this was like hardwood or something, or I don't know, something more pretty than just plywood, you'd want to be able to flush it out, and especially if it was a like a veneer plywood, those things are usually like a 16-inch thick. So just flushing out, it's good practice. Again, this thing is not going to win any beauty awards, but it doesn't mean we can't help it out a little bit and flush everything out. It also prevents splinters and things like that. So. Alright, so for whatever reason, my hardware store didn't have 3/4 inch lags for these casters here. So they're just going to peek out below this this ply by about, I don't know, about 1/8. So we're just going to grind these down real quick. Just have an electric grinder, it's a metal grinder here, so it's not the best thing to do in the world, but yeah, I couldn't find 3/4 for this project, so we're just going to grind these all down real quick. Alright, so pretty simple. Just be careful when you're done with that because they're kind of hot after you grind them down, but sure, real quickie. Now they'll fit perfect. Oh boy. Alright, well, let's get a drill bit, because one thing about it, when you take the tip off, they don't like to go in, so we'll have to pre-drill all these holes now, but it's not the worst thing in the world. Like I said, just couldn't find 3/4 inch legs, but we'll do the rest here. Alright, so there you have it. I haven't put tools or anything on this yet, but you know, you've got a little shelf space down there. You've got these baskets and pegboards and stuff. I have this whole another, I don't know, pegboard kit looking thing, just to put a bunch of stuff on here. And then, you know, it's on wheels, so you just turn it around, figure out what to do with the back here. The plan was to put some large kind of box clamps on there and just let them be there because they're on the ground right now. So pretty easy to do. Like I said before, this thing it's not beautiful or anything. Again, it's just going in the garage though, and it's just going to help clean the place up hopefully a little bit more, but it rolls pretty well. With that extra panel in the middle, the 3/4 ply, it's heavy, so it's not, just doesn't feel too cheap. All in all, not too bad. I'll get some tools on there and take up a follow-up video, but it's getting late today, and show you what it looks like when it's all stocked up. Alright, and there you have it. We stocked a little bit of this thing, but obviously with mostly Craig stuff. But yeah, it's just good to get this on wheels. It's mobile. Just when you're in a tight space like I am, the more mobility you can have on your stuff, it just helps to move it out of the way, because it just needs more space, but gives you temporary space. But yeah, rolls, spins around. You got a backside here. It's great for these box clamps. Here on the right side, you can see when we need some, it's easy to come over here. You can see everything, grab it real quick, and get the job done. Yeah, not too bad.